Hey everybody, Christopher Nejman. It's been a while since we had a sew-in chat. Since I've had a sew-in chat, that is, and you listen. Let's see, the last time I was on, I believe it was right around, well, I think it was right after the pandemic lockdown or during the lockdown. Anyway, today's date, January 18th, 2021. Happy New Year, everyone. Oh, this is an exciting time in our lives. So much change is going on in the world. You know, if you look back on some of my sew-in chat videos, a lot of the things I was saying have all come true. And one of the things that is going on out there is that I talked about the pandemic before, the virus, and how it was going to escalate because we have irresponsible people out there now wearing masks, and the virus has escalated. You know, now there's a couple new strains of it, and so many more people have died. But what can you do? What can you do except protect yourself when you will always have those people who are naysayers, people who will not follow logic, rebellious people, people who demand attention. You know, they're just, I don't know, troublemakers. Anyway, you saw what happened at the Capitol, all those people that broke in at the Capitol. I was reading a lot of that, and it appears that a lot of those people have prior criminal records. A lot of them still live at home with their mother. Some of them have wives that are the breadwinners in the family. The men aren't making any money. And the men have no education. And then you have the opposite end where you've got CEOs of corporations that were there. And a lot of those people lost their jobs because, you know, it was a federal crime what they did, breaking into the Capitol building, a government building, and beating up policemen. And they say they're blue lives, they support Blue Lives Matter, but they were one guy was beating a cop up with the American flag, and then they were walking in there with a Confederate flag. Whoa, talk about not being patriotic. I mean, this is the United States of America, not the Confederate States of America. So I was like, oh my gosh, where are these people coming out of the woodwork, you know? It was sad. I mean, I feel sorry for a lot of these people who they don't get it. Before we get into it, I know a lot of you are going to ask me what I'm using here. I'm making I'm making masks for me in the salon. This is one layer of tightly woven cotton fabric, the black, and this is that filter called Filty. The brand name is Filty, F like Frank, ILTI. You find it online. And I'm using one layer of each, and when I wear the mask, the filter is going to be on the outside. I tried doing 2 layers of the fabric with the mask, with the filter, and it was just way too hard to breathe. And since I mostly throw my mask away, or these I can rewash them, the Filty says you can rewash their masks up to 7 times. I think it was 7 times, I believe, yeah. So these will do me good when I work in the salon. Now, I've been working in the salon since we came back from the lockdown. I've implemented my rules. And I lost a client who died because she wrote and she said to me, well, actually she called me. It was a text message actually when I was setting all my rules up and I was going back, and she said, your rules are too strict. I don't feel like comfortable coming back, and I don't want to be told what to do. And I thought, oh God, here we go. Anyway, a couple weeks ago I got word from her sister that she died. She was having friends and family over her house. No mask on, no social distancing, and she got COVID from one of her guests, and she died. So she was only like, what, 64, 65? She was still young. But see, her own rebellious ways cost her life. Anyway, so if we go back and we look at everything that we've discussed in the past and everything that was happening, you know, I made sure I voted this time. And I voted for the party that has always supported me. You know, I'm a gay man, and I've always supported the party that supported me. You know, a friend of mine was talking and said, you know, remember when the Reagan era, when AIDS first came out, and how the Republican Party neglected, they made fun of AIDS, they were saying names about it and stuff. I said, you know what, I do. I was alive back then. I remember hearing the press secretary from the Reagan administration making joking comments about HIV to a reporter who was very serious about wanting to know what Reagan was going to do about this HIV crisis. And there's a lot of people out there. Florida is very divided. I live in Florida. You've got a lot of Republicans and a lot of 50%. You got about 50% Republicans, about 50% Democrats, and just a little more votes for Trump. He took the state. He didn't take the country, but he took the state. And a lot of these people, were alive during HIV. And as a matter of fact, I'll tell you what's poetic justice, and it's so sad. A lot of these people that were voting Reagan, and they too laughed at the HIV crisis. A lot of them, when they moved to Florida and retired, this is a true story. You can look this up online. I always have a lot of juice to tell you guys. There's this retirement community in Ocala, Florida called the Villages. And in the Villages, it's a retirement. They call themselves a Christian Republican community. And it was dominated by Christian Republicans. Now, during this last election, there were a lot of them that came out in support of Biden. Which, oh my God, they were all up in feathers. But anyway, going back before that, they have the highest STDs. Oh, lost my power. Hold on, kids. My power cord. I lost power here. All right, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Had a loose connection. Okay, so where was I? Oh yeah. So a lot of these people who made fun of gay people, and they were alive during the Reagan administration, and they were making fun of HIV and calling it the devil's disease. It's gay people deserve to die, all that. Anyway, a lot of those people, guess what? They have HIV now. Now, how does a grandma and grandpa, a heterosexual grandma and grandpa, get HIV? Well, let's see. If we go back, we look at how they got it. The Villages is very notorious for promiscuous sex. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. Grandma and grandpa are running around having orgies and committing adultery. Yeah, these Christian Republicans that live there, God, karma is terrible. Karma can be so good and karma can be so bad for people. These people have HIV and STDs. Now, let's talk about this. Why do people have STDs when there are condoms that have been sold since the 1920s? And why do people have HIV? Well, intravenous drug use is one. I guess a lot of people are having backdoor sex, if you know what I mean, without protection. And when the internal lining of the inside lining of your back door is ripped, and any secretion gets in it that is infected, guess what? You catch HIV. Now let's go up to the virus today. All these people, I don't need a mask, I don't need this, I don't need that. And it's been a while since I posted, but if you have been keeping up with the news and everything, you saw how many people had died that posted they don't want their rights taken away, they don't want to wear a mask, and before you know it, these people had caught the virus and they died, right? Pretty sad, isn't it? But it happened. It's true. And it takes you back to the HIV days when people were making fun of HIV, of gay people, saying it's just a gay disease when it was not just a gay disease. And some of these people today have HIV themselves that we're making fun of and demeaning it. Just like people who are against abortion, they're against abortion, but they've had abortions themselves. A lot of these Republicans, they vote against abortion, but they've sent their mistresses for abortions because they themselves are committing adultery and all this and that. I think, I'm not a breeder, as you know, because I'm gay. I don't have sex with women. But in my opinion, if a woman wants to have an abortion, that's her choice. And whether she's religious or not, that's her choice. And she can take her, that's up to her. Now, if you try to make it a law that abortions are illegal, you're taking someone's rights away, just like you don't want your rights taken away, right? And it's that person's choice. Now, then we read where all these people are like, oh, you killing innocent babies. Well, it's really not a baby, I guess, because it's not out of the womb yet. And people are not having abortions for the fun of it. They're having abortions for a few reasons. Number one, it's still not developed, and the woman may have been raped. She may have decided that, oh my God, I should never have had I can't have this baby. I can't take care of it. And then they say, well, she should have it, and she should give it to the foster homes. How many children are in foster homes? And look at the abuse these kids go through in foster homes. You read the stories all these years of all these children that were in foster homes that were abused, for crying out loud. And, what have they done about it? And did you ever notice that they're always abused by these really religious Christian fanatics? I mean, even Marilyn Monroe wrote about her being in foster homes and how these Christian men, these Christian husbands would molest her, and we hear that from other people too. So, I don't know. I just think that some women have to have abortions also because it's something that's medical for a reason. But let them make that choice. Let the woman make the choice. It's her choice, her decision. Like I said, I'm not out there breeding kids. But here's the other thing. All these Christians that are against abortion, why are they having sex with people they're not married to? I mean, doesn't their Bible say, thou shalt not commit adultery? Thou shalt not commit fornication? And why are they even having sex if they're not married to the woman? Why are these men having sex with these women they're not married to and causing the abortions? So, what I say, when I look at this logically, if you want to prevent abortions, you have to prevent pregnancy. And how do you prevent pregnancy? Well, if you're not religious and you're not a Christian, then you're going to have sex with a woman you're not married to. So how do you prevent her from getting pregnant? You use condoms and contraceptives. And for the Christians who claim to be Christians and Jesus this and God that, well then just don't have sex with a woman you're not married to. Only have sex with someone you're married to. Because that's what the Bible says you're supposed to do. Right? So, people, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You're either against it, for it, whatever, but you can't be doing both. And I love these women who are against abortion and this and that, and they blast women. But these women themselves, they wore white at the altar when they got married, but honey, they were not virgins themselves. They were just lucky they didn't get pregnant and contributed to the abortion statistics. Because they would have gotten an abortion. I know many women I used to hang out with that had abortions. And these were Christian women, and today they're married to Republican men, and they act so innocent, and they act like, oh my God, this and that. And you women know who you are. You women know who you are. We used to hang out together. You were so liberal back then. You were women who had your own businesses, or you dated who you wanted, and you were having affairs and living with men and this and that. And today, oh my God, you act like you're Holy Virgin Mary. People forget where they come from. People forget where they come from. People forget the things they did. So let other people make their own choices. Let them make their own choices. You don't want your freedom taken away, you say. Well, then don't take someone else's freedom away to choose. If that's what they want to do, let them do it. That's not up to me. That's not up to you. That's up to that person and whatever consequences they pay for it in the afterlife or this or that or whatever, if there is an afterlife. Everyone has to have something to believe in, but don't force your beliefs on someone else. But if you're saying you don't want your rights taken away, well, then don't try to take someone else's rights away. That's what I see. So, going back and looking at everything that's happened all these months, if you went back and saw all my videos on my sew and chat during the pandemic and everything, you will see that a lot of the things I posted all were true. Everything I predicted came true, and it's still coming true. I'm not here to say, oh, I was right, I was right, I was right. I was just like, we just observe. If you observe and you think rationally and you look at it, you can see what's happening. And there's still people out there. Oh, I love these videos on YouTube. You watch those Karen videos? All those crazy women and some guys that refuse to wear a mask wherever they go, and they got put up such a stink. Oh my God, pity the man who marries those women. Holy shit. Oh my God, I wouldn't want to be married to a cray-cray woman like that. Holy mackerel. It's like, these people are homicidal. They're not only homicidal, they're suicidal. You don't know my rights. I don't have to wear a mask. Well, you know what? If you go into a business, a private business, and that private business has a policy that you have to wear a mask to enter, and you refuse to, and you want to start some shit, well, you better get ready for your ass to be arrested and go to jail, because you're coming into a private business that has policies. Remember that those people that say no shoes, no shirt, no service. Well, no shoes, no shirt, no mask, no service. I can't tell you how many people stood behind me in line at the grocery store, at Walmart, all these places, and we're not wearing a mask and don't know what 6 feet is. They don't know what 6 feet away is. That's how uneducated these people are. They don't know 6 feet. Now, they say we have an educational problem in this country, and we do. We do, because they don't know what 6 feet is. So I turn around, I kindly say to these people, could you please stand 6 feet away from me? There are marks on the floor. Look down at the floor, and those big blue dots show you what 6 feet distance is. Could you please move back to your spot over there and stay away from me? Well, they just look at you like you're crazy. And it's like, I'm not the one who can't read. I'm not the one who cannot. I know how to count. I'm not saying I'm an expert at mathematician, but we all learn the same thing in school. And if you don't know what 6 feet are, and you can't read on the ground, there's an issue there. And these are the people who are protesting, and the nasty people. And going back to all those people at the Capitol, the majority of them, man, they're not educated. A lot of them were, but the majority of them were not educated. When you read all the arrest records, oh my God. And then Donald Trump made a comment, and he said, he was looking at his supporters on television breaking into the riot, and he made a comment and said his supporters do not look like high-class people on TV. And he does not like people who are not high class. Donald, they are a vision of you. They are you. If you do not like what you see, then stop promoting and encouraging those kind of people. Stop attracting those kind of people. You are attracting who you are. You attract who you are. Okay, everybody, that's all I've got to talk about today. I will get back and do more after the inauguration. I am really, really excited about this year. I see hope. I see change. I see health coming back. There's a lot of good that's coming. We're still going to have a lot of bad, though. You're still going to have a lot of what we used to call hoodlums. People that are angry. And to those people who are angry and all that about who won the election, I want to give you a piece of advice and tell you something you told us. When Hillary lost the election before, when she was running against Trump, you people told us, put your big girl panties on, stop crying, and get over it. That's what you told us. So I'm going to give you some of your own medicine. Put your big girl's panties on. Put your big girl panties on. Stop crying and get over it. And if you are a real true Christian that you claim you are, then know that we need to work together to make a better economy. Put those masks on, get your vaccines, whatever you have to do to get the health of this country back again. And know that we have a president coming into office who's going to care about every person out here. And he's already said it. He said, I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, I'm your president and I'm going to take care of you and help you. That is how a Christian really speaks. And I have to tell you that though I do believe in my God, my Jesus, and all that myself, I still have a long ways to learn about being neutral that way. Because I get angry too. But I get angry at the people who hurt others, like Donald Trump hurt people. It was just wrong. So now he's gone. The country voted. I know the country voted because I know people who voted for him, that voted for Trump the last time. I have relatives that told me, I'm sorry, Chris, I should have listened to you, and I did not vote for Trump this time. I'm so sorry I ever voted for him. I have friends that tell me that. They come out of the woodwork. I didn't know they did. I didn't know they ever voted for Trump, and they come out of the woodwork and confessed to me, and they said they were guilty of voting for him. That caused all this. They were part of the problem. And whatever it is, it was. Now it's a new administration. It's a new era coming in. So we just have to be peaceful. Look at you. Look at all the people that come to social media. But they say they're against socialism. But they're coming to places like YouTube here, looking for free education. I've had many people write me on my my YouTube channel here and say things negative towards me, and they do it on other people too, but they're not paying. They're not paying us to watch our videos, you see? They don't pay a monthly membership fee to watch us. They can watch any video on YouTube for free. All they have to do is have internet access. And the device they're watching us on, chances are, and you know it is, that device is made in China. China! Now, for all those people that are against abortions, guess what? China controls their population through abortion. And every time you buy a product made in China, you're supporting abortion. You may not agree with me on that, but it's true. You don't purchase and support a country you don't believe in. And people go, well, what are we going to do? Well, you know what? Those tax breaks that were given to those corporations to bring jobs back to America, it never happened, did it? Now it's time to rebuild America. We want to build back America and bring jobs back for sure. Because when I grew up in this country, most everyone we knew worked in manufacturing. Most everyone had a job that supported their family working in manufacturing. When did it become a sin to want to earn a living wage for an honest day's work to raise your family so they're not in poverty? When was it okay? They say not to rely on the government, but nobody wants to pay people their worth. Walmart, one of the biggest corporations in the world, their people collect food stamps, while Walmart gets the biggest tax breaks. Why? Why? Why are we against a living wage and expect people to get subsidies from the government? But yet everyone blasts about everybody wants to rely on the government. We need to stop people and stop to think about what's going on and go back to those days when people were able to live. They were able to live on the salary, the hourly wage of a manufacturing job to raise their family. There is nothing sinful about asking for an honest pay for an honest day's work to be able to feed and raise your family and put a roof over their head. You see? Everyone should have that opportunity. And when did college become so expensive? Years ago, many, many years ago, a person could work part-time, have an efficiency apartment or rent an apartment with a couple people, go to college, and pay for that semester from that part-time job every year. Your part-time job that you get now doesn't even cover the cost of rent or an efficiency. People are living out of their cars trying to go to college to get an education. That is so wrong. That is so wrong. And look at the money that these administrators make. Look at the money that these CEOs make. Look at the money that these athletes make. Look at the money these college people who run these colleges make. And yet someone trying to get an education can't even afford it. This is all backwards. How can we be a country? How can we stay the #1 country in the world when our people can't even afford to get educated?
Of 1.3 billion people competing for the American dream. Today, the new international reading, math, and science scores were released, and Chinese students left American teens in the dust in all 3 categories. We kept thinking all day of this scene we saw from our journey in China. These are 3rd grade students pausing to massage their heads for relief because they said they study so hard and they need to relax in the 3rd grade. David Muir and I were talking about it. We traveled to China together. David.
And Diane, these numbers are stunning for the entire world. The Shanghai stunner, you could call it. In fact, our own education secretary called the results, the words that Diane used, a wake-up call. Our president is calling for a modern-day Sputnik moment to catch up. Tonight's new numbers reveal what Diane and I just witnessed a couple of weeks back in China.
Nearly 500,000 15-year-olds from all over the world took the test. The top 5 scores in math: Shanghai, China, Singapore, Hong Kong, South Korea, and Taiwan. And way down the list in 30th, the U.S. In science, again Shanghai, China at the top, then Finland, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Japan. And down at 20th, the U.S. And in reading, Shanghai, China again, and the others. And down at 17th, the U.S. In our travels to China, it was everywhere, that laser focus on education. This public school in Shanghai where the children were 2 years old. By 3, they're at school from 8 until 4, already learning phrases in English. And the older kids wondered from Diane if the reverse was true back here in the U.S.
Can you speak Chinese?
No, I can say ni hao.
On average, Chinese students attend 41 more days of school every year. And with some attending classes on the weekends, it amounts to 30% more hours of instruction every year too.
This country needs this new administration to provide education for everyone so we can be the educated country we used to be, where people looked up to us. Okay, talk to you later. Take care. Bye now.